Hi guys, I'm Akhil
I'm Mukul.
and we're marketers after us. So Mukul, I know it's our first episode, so we're not used to being in front of camera. We usually have this conversation to clients or with our team about marketing and the technical stuff and all that. So you've been on the side of brands and you've been on the agency side. So what is your take on, like, how does it look from the other side to look at an agency?
Bro, I think the best days of my marketing career or life has been at agencies. I'll be very honest about that. Guys, I don't know how long until we could, go on with the agency life, but the happiest or the craziest things that has happened in marketing for me is when I was at agencies. So, but brands is a very different, game. So, if you are going into a brand side of marketing, there are few things that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Because there is offline marketing is one of the biggest thing.
Very important.
And if you have, if you have learned digital marketing your entire life, and there is ton of whatever, how much ever big the curriculum is when it comes to digital marketing, you have that kind of. It may be even bigger when it comes to traditional marketing.
Okay.
It is called traditional marketing for a reason.
Okay.
Because there are from printing to, we were doing campaigns at all these Lulus. So all these hypermarket, modern trade, even once we were doing it duty frees. So there the game is very different. It's about how you stand out. It's not about what is the messaging. It's about how you stand out when it is too much cluttered. If you are a small product, if you have a small product, for us it was chocolates.
Okay.
For me it was chocolate. So it was a small bar of chocolate. You have, there is at least 20 or 30 competitors together, and we are right there in somewhere in the middle. So if we want to pop ourselves out, we had to do something in terms of packaging, or something in terms of, we used to do all these LED.
The gondola.
Gondola stuff. So it is a different game, but again, it's just like two sides.
Since you
of the coin.
mentioned traditional, I want to. That's something that I've been also curious about for a long time. How do you measure the effectiveness of traditional? Because what we, from an agency side, what we say in digital, we can say, like, what we always brag about is that it's measurable. It's, you can track
the smart objectives.
Yes, smart objectives. It's very measurable.
Yeah.
You can see who's coming, who's going, who's purchasing. So how does it work on a traditional aspect? How do you measure?
So it for us, how we did it was, I don't know how much it is feasible for every brands. So for us, if we were focusing on a specific market, we would have one of our promoter there.
Okay.
So these promoters will have a clear structured plan, wherein if a client comes and picks up, seeing while they are getting promoted, while their promoter do their thing, or if we have a gondola in place, we'll always put a promoter along with it.
Okay.
Because we could track it properly.
Okay.
So keeping a promoter is a bit expensive, but it's also initial days. For example, if you're starting out the campaign, at least in the 1 or 2 months, you can definitely have a promoter there. Give them a pen and paper, let them write it down if they have to.
I think having promoters is something that helps you understand what their feedback is also.
Correct.
So what I think is, like, if you have a promoter with a gondola or with your presentation that's there, you get to understand what they feel about your product first of all, and then how do they look at your product.
Exactly.
Because from inside a brand, you might look at it saying, oh, the size is so much, the colors is so much, it should look like this, the feel is this, but from a customer point of view, it can be totally different.
Exactly.
It can, for them, what they relate to might be totally different. So I think having a promoter helps you understand that also for your future marketing efforts also.
Exactly.
Because the feedback that comes from the promoter, it's like, okay, I've had, let's say 100 people visit the gondola or the store, and we had 80 people pick it up. Out of the 80, 70 were talking about how cost effective it is, maybe. Let's say 10 were talking about how the color is so popping out. 30 were looking at, oh, this has so many ingredients in it, the products. So and some of them might even look at the offering first. Like you might have an offer first, and they, even though there might be bigger brands or other various brands from different categories, the point where they choose your brand might be very different from each audience.
Correct.
So I think that data helps you a lot when you're planning for the future. Setting up
definitely, especially if you imagine that we are launching 3 or 4 variant flavors of one single SKU. So that's where all these things, definitely from each outlet we can get to know the number of sales, all those are numbers. At the end of the day, it's about minute the details that only these promoters get from the customer feedback. That's actually very valuable in terms of when you are working in the brand side of a marketing company. So the only thing you have as a job is to get all the granular data that you can get for the brand. So promoters have being there at the space where we are already doing traditional marketing. That is
traditional marketing is the differentiator where you get to explore branding. Okay,
correct.
Okay, I wanted to relate something also to that, because there's an agency side, there's a brand side. Of course, this is from a visibility point of view. From a marketing strategy point of view, if it's a digital agency, we look at tools, we look at what creative, what budget, what region, then what ROAS, CPC, and all that happens. From a brand side, the measurement is different. There you look at the product pricing, your margins, the retail of it, the wholesale of it. How has that how's that diagram shifting for you, like from a digital, all these numbers and statistics, to the background of the product specific numbers?
It's a bit different. See, in the brand also it's somewhat similar. It's at the end of the day, it's all about sales. Our job is to help the sales folks. So even in the brand side, what we can do is we focus a bit more on the aesthetic side, or we focus a bit more on the data side, because usually when you are into brand marketing, you have an external marketing or you have a marketing team, so that you can rely on to, because you don't have to do all these things together. You mustn't do that. So that's how it works. So you get more time to invest on these data. So whatever data you're getting from traditional marketing, from promoters, or you can rely on the data from all the things you're getting from your marketing agency. You club these both together, find that right, find the right
niche, the fine line.
Exactly. So you might know an SKU is going digitally well. You might be into e-commerce, you might be selling that SKU in digital very well. But when it comes to, because that is being marketed well, maybe that is the reason why. But in traditional marketing, the promoters are able to push another SKU well. So there is definitely, so these are the kind of, so there is a reason why both products are working both ways. So these kind of data we can only figure out if you are in the middle of
you combine both of it, use both the information.
Exactly. So when it comes to the bigger FMCG brands out there, this is how the stuff works. So and
how does it look like to, let's say, look at the agency, like we tell the brands to treat us as your external marketing partner. Is it still that way inside, or
while we were
you bitch about us inside the boardroom?
This is one thing. So guys, start with agency. So this why? because when we used to do marketing, Akhil, we both, when we were working with these brands, so one of the things that we were trying to convey so much was to these marketing managers out there, trying to tell them that we are here to help you. This is not a fight. This is this is combined.
It's not you versus me.
This is not
you and me versus the customer.
So marketing managers, brand managers, so you guys have to find that optimum that is optimum way to connect with these digital marketing agencies. So first thing that I sorted when I moved to brand side was, I told my marketing agency guys that I understand what you're trying to do and I'm all in. We won't have any problem as long as you get the stuff done.
I think that also helps you set your KPIs right.
Exactly.
Like when you have a board member, you have a board meeting, or you have your senior official asking you what's happening in marketing, when it's a brand manager who does not have an agency experience, I think that conversation is totally different from a guy who's within an agency, who's been in an agency. Because when you're from an agency, you understand what's happening on the other side.
Correct.
You understand both the good and the bad.
Correct.
So you know where they might be tricking you and where you're actually at fault and you need to do something about it. So I think that's so starting with an agency. So again, I would say from my experience, I've been throughout agencies. So it's good in a way that you get the speed of things. So speed is one of the most essential thing that you learn at an agency. And the next big thing is you work with a lot of brands. You get to handle a lot of categories. The same day you might be working with a retail supermarket chain. The same day you're working with you're working with an engineering firm that creates water pumps.
It's very dynamic.
It's very dynamic, and you have to think from each scale. A retail thinking is different, and a B2B marketing, manufacturing thinking is totally different. So that's something which I like very much when working in an agency. You get to know a lot of industries. You get to explore a lot of categories. You get to know how customers work, how thought processes work.
Correct.
When it's, again taking the example of retail, when it's retail, you look at a customer from what price is enticing for them, what color of design is enticing inside a retail store, how does the lighting reflect the design that you've put up. That's very important. When you're looking at it from a B2B manufacturing or an engineering, any very core B2B product category, you're looking from the eyes of a procurement guy. So that's what we usually say. The ad that you're doing or the messaging that you're giving, it's not the owner who's purchasing from you. It's not always
most likely
the owner.
If you're targeting the big folks, it's not the owners.
It's definitely not always the owner. It might also be. There's cases where the owner talks to the procurement guy and get these people.
Exactly.
But more what we've seen is it's the procurement or the admin who reaches out.
The target audience is mostly
and what they look out for is different. From a manufacturing or a B2B space, they might look out for what is your credibility, like what is your experience, what is your certification, what is the type of clients that you've dealt with. So we need to understand that also. So an agency teaches you everything in terms of what you need to understand from customers, how different can you look at different brands, how you need to dig deep into their business, understand that first and then create a messaging for them. So that's a crazy world actually.
I think
So this is more like a journey where we dive deep into what we understand about marketing, what we've done over the years, and what we're exploring, even learning every day, and
what we do every day. We go to our offices, we do
the dashboards we look at,
so
the briefs we handle,
the AI tools we come across.
So that's something, that's another topic for another day. So this is a journey, and we want you guys to also be there.